Hello, once again, this is Code Weaver, and we're going to be doing a little bit of weekend gaming. Well, not weekend gaming, weekday gaming, morning gaming. I'm on vacation, and I said I was going to do a lot more streaming than I actually ended up doing. I guess I just needed a break from everything, including feeling obligated to talk on stream, but eventually you get to the point where you just kind of want to do it anyway. Just get right back into the saddle and do a little gaming, but bring others along for a ride. So here we are. We are going straight on into, once again, Stranded Deep. Now, when last I played this, let's just make sure the stream is working, yes. When last I played this, I had been building on my island, sort of off stream, and then showing it to you guys, doing a few resource runs, and at the very tail end, I decided to try to take on challenge number 2 of the story beats of this game. One of the beasties out in the waters, not too far from my island. And I ran out of ammunition because I'm going to lose most of the ammunition, more is the pity, because it takes a little bit to actually generate the stuff. Because I am using my air gun. Loading current zone. Yes, we are taking a while to get that loaded. Where do you figure my map has gone to? Now, I have... It's going to take me a moment to desktop. And you guys don't have this map on your screens because I actually have it on my laptop beside me so that I can keep it open along with the game. I'm, however, very quickly going to... Why should I have this open before I even started the stream? Because otherwise you get to hear me babbling for no particularly good reason. Open recent. There's my map. The reason why I have a map... so I pulled the map of my island scenario. I'm going to pause for a second. Pulled the map for my island scenario out of the cartographer, which the game has. And anybody can do this. It's not exactly a secret. You could argue it's not in the spirit of the game, but... Oh, that tastes good. This is not... this is not a sort of like private playthrough where I can spend all the time in the world and make all the mistakes in the world. I have, for the first several long streams of this game, actually put little markers on my island, a little bit like, where's one of my markers? That isn't currently buried. Oh, there's one. I have markers like this, both leading away from my primary island and leading back from all of the islands that I visit back towards my primary island. So that in principle, I can not only navigate, I can navigate without a compass, with enough time. But when I head out, if I make a mistake in my sort of dead reckoning navigation and sort of memory of the layout of these islands at any given moment, it takes a lot of time, and I don't want to do that on stream. So I did my due diligence. The first, I would say, 2 major rings of islands, plus a little bit out beyond that, I did that way. And now I'm not doing it that way anymore. I've got a map of the islands because I just want to get places. It doesn't mean I've visited any of those places. It just means that I have a static map that I don't have to draw myself. So I'm compromising on my own desire not to look things up, but this is one of those compromises I think suits the stream format fairly well. So that's where I stand on that. I have a map of my islands, which nobody else gets to see. Maybe I'll throw it up on screen sometime. It's just on a separate machine right now, so I'm not going to pull it up. So, that being said, I'm in the middle of a storm. It has some advantages, one of which is everything gets watered nicely, so I don't have to. I'm going to actually take some fruit with me, because I'm probably going to want something to eat and keep myself nourished. Not enough room in inventory. That's because I have a million sticks. Alright. Got a little bit of cleanup to do before I do the whole... I suppose I was going to take a chance and like build more on the top of my my building. Now, I've been building this for a while. I'm not done yet, I've decided, and I'll take you guys on a tour on the inside a little bit later. I haven't really decked out the inside, but that's not the focus of this stream. Oh yeah, I guess I have the hammer in my possession, so I was obviously intending to build. Goodness gracious, this is an intense storm. And now I don't know where the fruit was that I just picked. More is the pity, and I probably won't find it until after it has already gone rotten, so that was kind of a bad decision to go and pick that, but anyway. Suppose I should restart the game and recollect that fruit, but no matter. Taking a look on the ground to see if I can spot it en route, but I don't think I'll be able to. Because I don't remember when I hit the key to do what I thought was a swap and ended up being probably a drop. Okay, well, more's the pity. Wasted fruit. I can store it in my bin as a replantable eventually. So let's just go and make sure that... So I'm not going to take most of this stuff with me if I... Oh, hello. No, I only have the 3 in my backpack. I am going to take the water bottle with me. I'm not going to take most of this with me. If I get to the... I am maybe going to take the... Don't think I can actually skin this thing. It's unlikely. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to kill it and it's going to disappear, which is problematic because it takes all my spears with me. I am going to go out and see if I can do this by way of... I've got some gear collected up here, and I'm going to try not to do this by taking boxes if I can, like I just did, because then I have to get inside the boxes. These are all healing things that I've stashed up. I'm going to need that at minimum. I'm going to need at least a couple of stacks of these. Let's find out where that gets me. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to take all of these, because I'm going to want at least 2 stacks of these. I think that's probably going to be more than enough. And that gets me almost full on the tech. I'm going to want at least a set of these. Okay, that's fine. Do I want to take the spyglass? Maybe. Okay, so here's the thing. I can afford to bring 1 box with me. But when I'm doing combat, I want to make sure everything that I need is actually on me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the fruit in here. I think that's probably safe. And the water. No, I can't do the water. It's okay. I'm not convinced that this won't end up in the drink and sinking forever. But I got a lot of spy glasses if that happens. So I only want to bring on board things that I'm willing to lose on this particular venture. Having done that, though... I can probably take another set of these. Okay. Right. That preparation has been complete. We're also going to make sure that before we head out, we're very well fooded and watered up. So, fully watered. Fully fooded. Okay, now to get to this, I need to head basically in a northeast direction to the island that is mostly northeast of me, and then head kind of east-northeast between islands until I find a buoy, hence why it's helpful for me to have that the spy glasses. So to do that, let's pull up the compass. I want to head exactly that direction, which is exactly the opposite of where my craft is. So let's do a little bit of repositioning here. You guys get to see a little bit of my prep work. And now I've got to poison myself. Okay. Okay. Come on, get me on board already. Thank you. Why can I not consume? What's the issue here? Now I have a new problem, and that's that I seem to not be able to consume the... That's gauze. What I need is antidote. That's why, because I'm not being... Okay, that's me being stupid is what that is. I should have saved. Okay, so we're gonna really hate those poison things, because you never know when you're gonna get hit by them unless you know where they all are at every moment. Okay. So the startup to this little adventure goes just a little bit longer than I'd anticipated, but that's okay. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? So I'm going to swim this across to the other side of the boat here. Really? This is not starting out well. I'm doing all the silly risky things just to get myself prepped for what should be a simple launch, but of course that comes at the cost of it not being a really simple launch. Isn't that grand? Okay, sure, that's roughly northeast is over that direction, that island there, I think. Let's actually see if we have anybody in chat. No, we do not. That's all right. All right, so yeah, great. All right, let's use the gauze, which basically stops my bleeding. But now I'm still poisoned. Which means I'm gonna need my head examined. There's that. Alright, come on. Back over here, please. Thank you. So we're gonna build a consumable. I have never built shark repellent before. I would need a lionfish, which are dangerous to approach. I've never actually killed one. I'll have to think about doing that just for the experience. Anyway, coconut flask. Book it over to where I have the antidote plants, the pippy plants or PP plants or whatever. Alright, grab that. Antidote, take the antidote. Alright, for heaven's sake. Let's find out. So status effects are I'm healthy, that's fine. My health is a little down, my water and my food have dropped a little bit. Let's do it again. So there's water. I don't think overeating actually gets me anything in terms of health. So what are we looking at? We are looking at we're gonna kind of want maximum health. Really wish I hadn't gotten hit for bleeding, but let's sleep. See if that gives us. No, it did not do much of anything except lower our water and food. Alright, well, you know what? To heck with it. Gonna eat another one of these. We're more or less as good as we're gonna get, and it's still dark, which means it's gonna be still light. It's gonna be, well, it's getting light, just getting light now. Arguably, I could have headed out a little bit earlier, but that getting light is. Where is the moon? Yeah, we're coming up on dawn here, so this is actually a good time to head out. We are going to. And I've left my box back on shore. Of course I have. There it is. Alright. I am now in a position where if I screw this up, I can reload it and I'm back in a position of... Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's get going. And what have I hit? I've hit one of the many rock bluffs over which ring the island. Was that enough? Come on, let me go. Can we go? Yes. Okay. Spires are sticking up out of the water. I don't know. Stalagmites of the ocean. I don't know if they have a particular name, but. Alright, it's going to take me, a quarter of a day to find the right spot and to get myself situated. So I want to get headed out there as soon as I possibly can. I wanted to be out on the ocean about an hour earlier than I ended up being, but that's the way it goes. So, still loving this game. I will recognize two things. The story beats aren't really strong enough, but maybe the game isn't really geared around the story beats super strongly. I'd like, I don't know, notes left. I'd like to bring the oil rigs back. I'd like there to be a little bit more variety in the islands. Stuff like that. That being said, still enjoying the game because I find this game soothing when I'm not doing the story beats, so that goes a long way. So hang on, we're going to go, now we're going east-northeast. Now we want to turn in a little hard here. To do that, I'm going to risk doing this. Now we're going to go out by sail, just so that I can get an idea of where we are. So it should be a buoy out here somewhere, but I'm going to have to head out into the bay to actually find that. I don't want to be zipping along at high speed, and I want the freedom to roam around, hence I'm now doing this by sail. Let's bring out the box, out of which I can grab, out of which I can fail to grab. Oh, come on. Being fumble-fingered today. Yes, shark, just what I need, thank you. Let's just add to the pile. In this bay somewhere. Be just a tiny little nub out in the ocean. The fact that I'm heading for an island doesn't help. It might be out that direction a little bit. All right, let's do a hard turn here. Somewhere in this stretch of ocean. Just not 100% sure where. Be quite easy to overshoot too. Okay, I've made my hard turn. Let's go take another look. more islands on the horizon. Come out, wherever you are. Well, this is a little infuriating. So I found it once without too much difficulty. Okay, here's where we're going to have to make another risky... Come on, 180 degrees, go, get back on board quickly. Before Mr. Bitey Bite gets a hold of me. Checking my map for a minute. It's actually beyond the next two islands, so actually it could be out there. Oh, interesting. I may not have gone far enough. Okay. Okay. I need to go east. Which direction is east, please? Gone a little too far. Okay. So it could actually be out between these two islands, I think. And if I can't find it out there, I'm going to have to reload from my save. Because I may have gotten myself a little bit turned around as to which islands I'm aiming towards. The problem is it's even harder to spot than the islands, and it's really close to the surface, this buoy that I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to head between these two islands, and if I don't find them having passed well beyond them, I will call this a failed attempt and make my way home. Come on, where are you? Alright. Time to take this up a notch. And at least accelerate a good distance in here before trying to make another observation. Can't see it by eyeballing the bay yet. But now that I'm here, let's go and take another gander. So the last time I went out hunting this thing, I practically stumbled into it, and now that I'm looking for it on purpose... Oops, that's not the tiller I want. Now that I'm looking for it on purpose, of course, it's really, really tricky to find. How very irritating. It's possible it come between the wrong pair of islands. Okay, because I kind of screwed that up, or at least because I'm not convinced exactly where I was, rather than meander my way all the way back home, re-food and resupply and whatever, there's nothing, as far as I'm concerned, harmless story-wise in me just going back to where I started. This does illustrate. Takes at least a little bit of skill to navigate through the islands on compass alone, especially since, incidentally, there is a prevailing wind or something anyway that tends to blow your ship gently, even turn your ship gently. You've seen it in a couple of my previous videos. In a particular direction. I think it's coming from the north. I'm pushing south. I have to think that through carefully. Alright. Just a few things in this game that are unreliable, which is slightly irritating. Okay. Hit that. Hit that. Take the tiller. Hopefully we can avoid hitting that pillar, but I think it's pretty much between me and the island I want to go to. Oh, apparently I managed to miss it this time. So much the better. Okay. Get the sail out of there because I don't need it for the... It's not compatible with using the gas engine. Alright. So based on my map, I want to pass on the right side of this, and then basically having done that, head due east. But in doing so, I want to pass through the two islands. I want to pass to the left of this and the right to the island that appears to be kind of straight ahead as soon as I pass this island. Just try not to hit that sunken wreck, which is off of my port. Yeah, alright. So there's the island that appears to be straight ahead. It's actually the pair of islands, it's the left-hand one of the pair of islands I want to pass between. The other one being over here somewhere. There it is. So here's where we're going to do this. I'm going to very quickly hop off of here and hard turn. Unfortunately, for whatever reason of physics and implementation... Oh, now have I gone a little too far? I've gone a little too far. That's all right. Neither the tiller nor the engine right on the back, which should act as a crappy death. Really? What have I caught myself on? Oh, the wreck right beside me. That's great. Possibly also rocks? Yes. Okay. myself reoriented. I want to head right between those islands, and I want to do so sharpishly. So here we go. Very rapid. I don't want to get eaten by a shark maneuvers. And up. Race over to the gas tiller, and let's just go. Nope. Did not turn hard enough. Okay. Double check my direction. Should be heading. Actually, I want to go between those two islands. See, and this is how it's so easy, because when you get out into the ocean, the islands start to look the same unless you're really careful. And that I think that's a hammerhead that just bumped me. Okay, let's do this. Temporarily just going to use the sail so I can get myself feeling happy about my orientation without being in the water. Turn a little bit faster on the tiller. Now this doesn't make on the wood tiller, partially because you're going forward slower. But here's a thing though. It didn't matter whether before or after I had this tiller on here. It didn't turn particularly faster now that it's closer to the center of mass. This thing is so far away from the center of mass, it's not funny. I should be able to turn donuts with this engine, and I can't. I actually can't turn much at all. It makes no sense from a physical perspective. I mean, it's not that the game is unplayable, but it's one of those things that drives me just a little bit nuts. It's like you've got all this trouble to have a very physics sim, and for some reason it just feels like I have that back engine cranked hard over, and I can't turn this thing worth beans. Makes no sense at all. And there's some buoyancy issues when this thing's laden down that also make no sense. I sound like I'm complaining. They're minor quibbles. For some people, they're probably deal breakers. They're totally not for me, as is quite clear. All right, so I pass through these two on my map here. Let's see. I pass. I go. Then I go through there. I pass. Oh, that is not correct. Hold the phone. Oh, that is really tricky to imagine. Medium shore wreck near. I need to find out. All right, what do I have here? I just passed by the medium shore wreck near container. Several close shore wrecks, medium slanted pillar. That's that guy. So I've actually gone on the left-hand side of slanted pillar. Oh, okay. I am way off. Okay. Nope. We can totally fix this. Because one of the things I did to help my navigation. See, the thing is, doing all your dead reckoning from island to island is one thing, but you often don't realize how far out into the ocean offshore you are. And the interesting consequence of that is that you often end up, if you pass by the north shore of an island, you're probably quite a bit farther north of that north shore than you think you are. And that means that if you're having to make a course correction, you probably have to make a harder course correction than you'd intended. And I did. I overcorrected. I actually passed, I think, it should actually be, that's the slanted, medium-sized slanted pillar island. So I've got my map annotated with descriptions of sort of the most important features, certainly not all of them, because some of them have like 5 wrecks, and I really only marked down like 2 important ones. This one should have been, if I was passing through the islands I'd intended, should have been on my starboard side. Instead it ended up being on my port, which means I came around too hard, I think. If I come around this, and between it and the next island, which direction am I headed right now? northeast. We should probably turn even harder north. Between that island and I think that one that's on the horizon, somewhere in here, is roughly where I should make the encounter. I have no idea, honestly, how you would accidentally discover this unless you were super eagle-eyed. So it may be that if I tried to play this straight, I just would never finish the game. Which again kind of points to one of the. It would be nice if maybe on an oil rig you found a map of a piece of the cartographer's map, someone who had already mapped out the area. That would be kind of neat because it's no. I don't think it makes the game any more difficult, or sorry, it's not significantly less difficult in terms of navigation, but it makes it a hell of a lot easier in terms of finding things. You don't have to randomly stumble into something. So north is that way. It's gotta be up here somewhere. So let's get prepped. So I'm going to be circling nearby that island in order to find this thing. So that's the island I'm supposed to be passing near. It's gotta be in here somewhere. I'm not seeing it yet. Hard turn. Hard port. I don't think I've actually been to that island yet. Oh, come out wherever you are. You've got to be here somewhere. I should have seen it by now. That's the thing. If it really is here, I should have seen it by now. Somebody is totally going to end up pointing out to me that I actually had it pass over my viewfinder at one point. Out the viewport here. So if that's a slanted pillar island, what's that one? Probably 2 offshore wrecks, tall mast, and driftwood. Maybe. Quick little reorientation here. There it is. There it is. All right. So I'm coming at this from from the south and heading north. So I'm heading north into this thing. All right, well, can't really argue with the fact that there it is on the horizon. It's not... So that wasn't that island. That must have been that one. Okay, proving a little more the navigation is hard. I clearly can't do it as well as I think I can. But it is between the slanted pillared island and kind of, and one of its neighbors slightly to the north of the line that connects them. And the one that it should have, and I haven't been to that one yet, so I don't have a name for it, or I don't have a description of it. And dead ahead of me is very large wreck, but I can't see that on that island, I think. So, in any case, it doesn't matter. We are here. And we are, at long last, after all this time, ready to try to deal with this thing that I have not been able to defeat. Yet. There it is, Liska the Great. Let's figure out where we are. So, we're going to take out the fruit because I'm willing to bet we are down on liquids. So, we're going to... Less worried about the water. So, come on. All right. All right. Nope, nope. Put that down, please. Thank you. Take that out. Eat it as well. Got the compass to make sure that's not going to be lost. We're going to put... We can actually hold everything in our hands. So let us hold everything in our hands. We got 7 of our gauzes. This is going to be stupid. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to heal, but let's give it a go. Alright, now the problem with Liska is that... The fact that it's literally going to pull me all over the goddamn place. Alright. Well, here we go. Nope, that's not what I want. I want that, thank you. I am not hitting anything here. Come on, get up. For God's sake, get up. My God, it is just killing me here. So it's managing to be able to do this if I can stay on my toes long enough. And not die. Not dying would be great. And that's where this game screws me over. I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Just let me get up to the surface, please. The game's inability to simply let me on my own freaking raft is one of those things where in combat it's just not really. No, that's annoying. Let's just say it's annoying. Okay. Stay mobile. Stay very, very mobile. I know it just got difficult because it got to nighttime. Because I spent way too long getting out here and finding this location. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in the night. And I've fallen off the boat. Fantastic. Now I'm not going to be able to get back on the boat without getting picked off, I'm sure. Oh, well, I did. Where are you? It's going to be tough. Fell right through the hole in my boat. Coming out. It's great. I'm bleeding. That's fine. Let me up to the surface, please. Ooh, that's rough. Oh, no. Stupid Steam interface. Come on. Having some interfacing issues here. myself a moment. Okay, come on, come on. Okay. Yes, I want to climb, please. This is not rocket science. Yeah. All right. I can see why people would start to get a little bit annoyed at this. I can make it work. I don't think it's game crippling, but that sensation that you can't get on the raft when you hit spacebar is really annoying. It's not that you're being pulled back in, because it happens. It happens even when you're not battling big bad guys. But the fact that you come on. Oh, I might have even got him there. Oh God. Now I gotta stay careful because I have overexerted myself and I can't get back my stamina until that runs out. That mechanic I don't mind. That's a sort of a management of a resource, that being your stamina. It's annoying as all get out because it's probably going to kill me, but I should have been monitoring that. Anyway, getting back up on board the ship, it should just... If you get the trigger that you can get back on board, you hit spacebar, you should get on board every single time. As long as there are no extenuating circumstances, such as being pulled off by a great bloody squid. That's fine. If you're actually actively getting pulled off, that's... Oh, shit. That's a different issue. That right there was not one of those times. That should never ever happen. No. Never ever happen in a game. Ever. I don't mind the management of time resources. It makes the game tough, or energy resources. It makes the game tough, but might be able to beat him. That one. Oh, this is so close. Come on, come on. Back on board, please. Try not to run out the resource meter. No! I think I might have run out of... spear gun spears, which means I'm now in the position of having to harvest them from him in order to be able to kill him. God awful. No, that mechanic is completely broken. I officially call it on that one. I'm just going to have to put up with it. Because it doesn't impact me in most spots of the game. But I didn't think it would be this infuriating during combat. Might get him. Got him. Okay, had frustrating moments there. There's a one mechanic that doesn't work 100% when it should, especially in an infuriating situation. So I'm going to lay it out for you one more time. My problem with that is when you're in the water and you're coming up to the raft and you hit the space bar or whatever, when it says press space bar to get on board, to lift yourself up or get on board the raft. When you hit space bar, some of the time, based on other keys you're touching maybe, or based on the craft drifting, it actually dumps you back in the water. To me, unless there's some sort of mechanic whereby like an extenuating circumstance which drops you back into the water, say you get reefed off or the boat gets reefed away or you run out of stamina, none of those situations are really the case here. I should not be getting dropped back into the water ever. And it's been just one of those little frustrating mechanical bits in the game because it's so physics based that it simply needs to be fixed. I consider that to be a broken mechanic because it doesn't add to the gameplay at all when it's not based on anything that's predictable. And there have been a lot of times when I've said to games, this is a little too predictable. I can do certain things every time, all the time. Especially, it's kind of annoying when, say, big boss enemies have something that's so predictable that they're literally trivial to beat. For example, I just don't think this is one of those kinds of unpredictability that adds a single thing to the gameplay, and it makes that scenario more frustrating for no good reason. It's already hard, and if you're going to make it harder, that's not the way to make it harder. So that's my rant about that particular hiccup. Now the thing is it really doesn't impact you all that much other times. It's kind of just irritating other times. But if you're going to make the combat a part of this game, I don't know. Anyway, I don't have that many beasts with this game that I can't tolerate. In fact, I can clearly tolerate this when I got through this. Even if it had beaten me, it would have been irritant to just have come out here and did it again. So I'm pretty tolerant on control schemes because I know they're bloody hard. I've had to implement a few more than once. So the other fun elements of this gameplay easily overwhelm that problem for me, so I'm good. In any case, I have lost all of my darts. I'm now down to 10 darts out of the 48 I brought with me. So achieving this has been a little costly. I've done it without losing a lot of other resources, though, food and even health. So here's an interesting point about that combat. All those getting pulled off of the ship did not actually hurt me all that much, especially because when it did cause me to bleed, I had the gauzes. And I actually have quite a few gauzes left. I have 3 out of the 7 I brought with me. They're not that hard to make. They're made out of renewable resources. You just have to spend the time to build them up before you come out here. Come prepared. The thing that made that costly was clearly the spear gun darts, because those take one of those branches, and the rope isn't a big deal, but the branches are a little bit harder to come by, especially when you're trying to build a big building. That's not a complaint. That's fine. It's just something you have to be aware of when you come out here and do that. I knew that it was going to take me a lot of resources. Okay, hang on. Before I get lost again, let's get my bearings. I think I want to head on the left-hand side of the... that's going to be medium slanted. And medium slanted is currently... just the name of the island because of the stuff that's on it. Is currently to the south of me. Yeah, so part of what screwed me up here is if that's medium slanted to the south of me, then it's in the wrong. Then I am in a different spot than my map indicates is where I should be. If it's to the northeast of me, it's still in the wrong spot. So that's not that island either. I'm not sure which direction to actually head to go home. But roughly speaking, it's to the southeast. No, south. Yeah, southeast. It's actually, so I am currently south of that. Which should put me fairly close to medium slanted pillar, which is actually that. If I head towards that island and keep it on my port side and then turn more west, I should pass nearby another island over here and I'll be home. So that's going to be my next target. Okay, we can do this. Well, at least we have a bearing. And we are highly determined to get home with this because I do want to save the result of this. And I'd rather do it at home than have to stop by another island to do it. It just adds complication to my evening. Oh, there you go. Had to have a little bit of a rant, I guess. I actually didn't think I was going to run out of weaponry there, but I was actually unable to fire my weapon a couple of times when I was underwater during one of those last legs, and I was pretty certain the reason for that was that I ran out of arrows. Now, when I was being dragged along by him, I was close enough that I could literally pick arrows off of his body, and so I managed to take it on. So here's a word of advice. Unless you're a perfect shot, I would suggest you bring closer to 3 stacks of arrows, maybe 2.5. So we're talking between, let's say 60 arrows wouldn't be out of the question to be able to take that thing on in case you miss a bunch. Getting pulled off the raft doesn't hurt you as much as you think it does, but the bleeding would. So make sure to take at least a half dozen, maybe 4 gauzes, depending on how often you get pulled off the wreck and get bleeding. What I did there, 6 gauzes I took with me, or 7, and I ended up with a few left over. I cut that pretty close. I would prefer not to have cut that very close. Just make sure I'm heading on the right bearing. So that's southwest. Kind of want to head a little bit more in the westish direction, I think. Now, it could be that the location of our sea critter there was not where I actually thought it was, and therefore it is possible that the islands I'm identifying are just a little too similar to islands I've already had. Take a look at that, though. I think... don't know if that's an actual arrow pointing home that I saw on the shore there. Sometimes I mistake them for rock formations. What I'm actually after is looking for a medium shore wreck container. And I do notice that the wreck often has a tiny little bit of a glint on it as I pass by it in the moonlight. So that might be it, which would actually mean I'm where I think I am. But that also means that I want to hang it a little bit closer to... No, west is good. West is good, but probably not that island. It might be that island. Oh, I have to get a better eye on things. You know what I could do, though? I actually have these. That is not home. That is potentially home. That isn't, but if that's the wreck container... maybe that is home. Ooh, unless it's that. Sometimes tell on the profile, I can't tell. Okay, okay, okay. Stop, 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 stop. And in fact, fully stop. Let's see if I can get my bearings here. That has to be it. That has to be it because the wreck container island was there. I'm actually heading way too far south. Okay, okay, that's fine. A container is an interesting beacon. It is kind of, I think, saved my bacon. Saved my beacon? Alright, so there we go. And actually, since we're pointed in the right direction, let's just have at it with the gas engines. Means passing my port should be shore wreck with a tiny pillar, which actually describes that fairly well. Now, my island has a profile which at the moment, I'm not really taller, my building isn't really taller than the tallest pillars that we have on some of these islands. And it's not really wider, it's kind of about medium to largish sized pillar silhouette. But it's also very, very square and fairly regular. And so it's often, yeah, that's definitely my island. It's often pretty easy to find in profile. I'm hoping to actually make my building even larger than this by one story as an enclosed space and then probably a deck on top. But I may even go so far as to build a separate building that is nothing more than a lighthouse, just a set of stairs that just goes up and up and up and up and up. Because that will create a very, very distinctive profile for me to find from a distance. Yeah, there we are. A little bit of guesswork and a little bit of let's not hit that rock. Thank you. Anchor. And ladies and germs, we are home, having completed, with a little bit of frustration, I'll grant you, completed the second story beat of this game. Now, I have no idea what the third story beat critter is. We can go take a look if we like and see if there's something interesting about it. If we do that, though, there's a very, very good chance we're going to die because I don't have the spear gun resources. So, but you know what? I do have a lot of sticks. I'm not intending on building the next level of my building just yet. And I'm going to gather the resources to finish that off later, off stream anyway. So while we're here, let's drink a bunch of water. Eat a chunk of food. We'll use a medium. Come on. We're going to put this back on here. Actually, no, we're not. Because what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to head right out to try to find that third story beat, even if we don't do anything about it. But in the event that it's actually something that we can deal with, and I honestly, I don't know what it is. This is blind at this point. This has been actually for a while. I think I saw an early version of Luca, the thing we just battled, and an early version of the Megalodon in previous plays, but it was not really situated in a story mode kind of like this. And in any case, I haven't seen them for a very long time. I am really, I mean, so those were more or less blind as well, because I really had no idea what they would look like and what the context of them would be. 4, 5, 6. So hang on, what do we got here? Let's start to unload a few things. Let's, I'm going to put you in there, because we're probably going to need to make a few more of those. Actually, we have a few more of those. I'm going to put you in there. I've got 10. So let's get up to the 24. That means another 14 that we need to get to a single stack. And we're going to put, we're not going to put that in there. We're going to put that over here, but remind us to pick that up later. All right, let's just put these over here until we're ready to go. This is empty. This has our spares of this. Okay, so that's fine. Let's actually put those back. And we're going to put that. And we're going to put that. The reason I'm doing this is so that I can carry as many of these sticks as I can to do the building that I want to with the spear guns. So we are up to 12, 13, 14. So that should give us a full stack. This is where we use up a lot of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we've still got quite a few of them, so it's not like I'm really seriously hurting that way. But now we start building these. Spear gun arrow, 1, 2, and I'm already at a point where I have a resource problem, so barely gonna drop this until I build these. 3. Just gonna keep building these until we're at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's it. No, that must be 14. There we go. Yeah, 14. Okay. So having done that, let's boot it back over here. Not the one, that's the one. Okay, fun times. Thing is, I don't know if I have enough rope available or materials to make rope available to actually do another 24. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't. But let's see how far we can get. So we'll do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is not what I wanted to build. I've got 2 extra of these I don't need because I misclicked. Great. So I have 6 of those. 7, 8. No! Alright, so I've got piles of kindling for when I next go set out to colonize because I'm an idiot. Let's take a bunch more of these. What do we need here? That's 8. Alright. 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, wish you could unmake things, but in a lot of cases you can't. Spear gun. Really? Could be one of those days. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and 12. Is that 12? No, that's only 11 because I need one more rope. That's fine. That's fine. And that's fine. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another 12 bits of rope out of that to make a full 2 stacks. So what we're going to do, I guess, is make another resource run. And let's do that by setting up a new camp on, I think, one of the islands that I do not have marked, because that means I'll be able to set up a new camp and I'll be able to then get a decent amount of sticks and stuff out of it. So, all right, so let's do a little reorganization here. We're going to take these guys out of here. take that back. We're going to stuff you three in there. And we're going to store all of you guys in here. Yeah, okay. So that set of boxes is prepped. And prepped and ready. Hour 16. I should take out one big bad beastie. I'm potentially going after a second. Okay. But now I am in the position of, I'm going to drag that along with me because I can. I'm going to build everything when I get there. I more or less have the ability to, alright, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to put this in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. For bring back stuff, I'm going to go with 5. Get some water before I head out. Stash that for later. Prime these guys to collect more water because I really don't want to run out when I get back. Everything else I can sort out when I get there. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to kind of retrace my steps. I'm going to go to, I believe, that direction, the northeast. Northeast is that way. So I'm going to head northeast. Let's plot this out and see if we can do better this time. Head northeast, go around the port side of that. More or less as I'm heading with it on my starboard, I'm going to then be aiming straight at a next island. But what I want to do then is come into have it on my port side, and that should lead me into the bay where I was after, and I'm going to go to the far distant island that's between those two. And this is a long-winded way of saying I think I have a bearing. Let's see if I can actually make it happen. So there we go. What should we do in the gas department? We've still got quite a bit, but I'm going to save it for the way back. I think I'm going to take a leisurely sail out here so I don't miss anything this time. Monitor as we go. So this should be Container Island. Oh, screw it. Let's get to the next spot more quickly. I don't have spare gas, so I won't be doing this the whole way. Let's see if I can do a better job at identifying. So there's Wreck Island, not Wreck Island, Container Island, because it has that one container I started to disassemble and I really only took doors from it. But it actually acts as a good beacon, and it's fairly identifiable. There's not that many containers on my island, so it actually forms a pretty good marker. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to that gas island. I should be able to, I'm not going to say I should be able to turn on a dime, but oh. Come on, get me on, please. Thank you. Why am I stuck? I accidentally told it to drop to a way anchor, which was a bit silly. Come on, turn a little harder, please. No, I'm going to run right into the rocks. Yeah. and right over this barrel. Oh, that one I passed through slash over. I'll take it. Okay, so let's follow the logic here. I was supposed to come out of that northern, like passing by the northern end of the island, barring a little bit of turning, pointing at that island. That island is described as 2 offshore wrecks, tall mast, and driftwood, and that's more or less what we see. There's a big tall mast that's pretty identifiable, some driftwood on the shore which we can't see from here, and there's the other island. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a hard turn to starboard. I want to go between these 2 islands as best I can, and then aim for the one that's more or less dead center past here. And that's actually at the outer ring of islands, so there's not going to be anything past that. And in the process of doing so, in the process of passing between Tall Mast Island and what's the other one? It's several close shore wrecks, medium slanted pillar. I'm not novel about my naming. It's purely practical, but you can see the slanted pillar that you can see there. It's kind of medium-size-ish. They're bigger pillars, and there's a couple of wrecks nearby on the shore, which you can see when you get closer. So we are on target here. The reason I'm going to this trouble is because I'm pretty sure that the island at the far end there is part of an outer ring of islands, which I have not really harvested. So good candidates while I let the others grow back, because I've been harvesting more nearby islands pretty heavily. Does mean I've got a larger distance to travel, though. Now that island off in the distance should be the one I call very large wreck. Which you can't see the very large wreck from here very easily. But actually you kind of can. It's actually right there. Right above my cursor. And it's actually viewable as far away as the island itself is. It's like one of the larger shipwrecks. What we're aiming for should be over here somewhere. Let's get a bearing on the old compass here. Northeast. Should be more east than northeast, if I'm honest. And if everything were to line up well, but I don't think it's going to end up being, because I think I see it over there on the horizon. Right there. Oh, unless... there's a whole island chain. No, I'm gonna say it's that one, and I've just come a little bit too far south. That's fine. That's fine. Oh. So yeah, look at that. There's one over there and there's one over here. Which one is likely to be the one that I was originally aiming for? Based on the fact that I just passed the Luca's marker purely by accident, see how easy it is when I'm not intending on going there? It's actually not clear to me which one to aim for. I'm going to aim for the one that's mostly east from here, which I think might put it at that island. I'll have to see if there's one that I can see that's immediately beyond this, because if there is, then it's one of the ones on my map, and if it's not, it's one of the others. Slanted Pillar Island. So I came in quite close to Slanted Pillar Island. And if I came in closer to that than northeast, would be closer to where I wanted to head, which would have been that island up there. So this is interesting. I may be at a different island than I'd intended, but that's alright. As long as I know the way to get back, it's actually somewhat less of a concern. I said to be able to identify the island. Alright. Squeeze on up to this island and see what else we can see. Oh, I see there is an island back over there, which would be consistent. Isn't that fascinating? I did end up on, I think, the wrong island than which I'd intended, but it's actually okay, because I haven't been to it anyway. Alright, so once we've docked here, we'll take a few seconds and see if we can get our bearings. Pretty sure I haven't been here before. Let's deploy these. That I'm going to eat now because I might as well. This looks like something I could call Small Pillar 1 Wreck. Alright. Oh, come on. Let's get some bearings here. So, here we go. Directly, so let's pull out the compass. Directly southeast of us is another island. It could conceivably be that one on my map. Really should show you guys the map at some point. Oh, and driftwood. Driftwood's good. Directly west is another island. And that could be several close shore wrecks with a medium slanted pillar, but it's a bit distant and I can't quite tell from here, and I'd have to pull out this. I don't have the binocs on me. Directly east is another island. That's consistent, and I wish I could see further than just the one island, because then there's probably another one just beyond that. That's even further east, is the further eastmost island in my map. And we should see another one south, if this is the one that I think it is. That's new. I didn't build that. Okay, new rules. I don't know what's going on here. New rules. Okay, so I am on the island that I think I'm on, but this is totally new. I'm a little spooked. Okay. Okay. Pick up some scrap as long as we're here. Gotta be a little bit careful until moonrise comes up. Now, earlier on in the game, I did a strategy where I brought all the things I needed to colonize sort of with me. It would just be in the boxes, and I'd literally deploy everything. Now, I can't do that this time because I, frankly, didn't bring any of that with me. But okay, I've got all the things I need. If I can find a little bit of loose rocks, there's driftwood here, which I'm not going to harvest because I think that's kind of a novel thing to leave on the beach. Great. Really? Okay, so I have to head home before next evening because otherwise this is going to go bad. Gotta find at least 3 rocks. There you are. Neat trick, if you can get these things, if you can't sneak up on these things from behind, they are harmless. Okay, and there's my 2 rocks. 1, 2. All right, so I have that. Now I also need grass materials. And I'll watch out for the boar, who is almost certainly nearby on the island. And I got to make sure that I don't run into snakes. I'm sure there's at least one on an island this distant from home. The number of snakes seems to go up as you move outward. I'm not going to collect all the rocks anymore. I got way too many of them at home, and I don't use enough of them for any purpose yet. So, there we go. Good enough at hunting that now I don't need to take these guys out with a bow and arrow. It's a little bit more fun to do so, but all right, let's do the thing. Be really careful. I only need to drop off everything back home. All right, let's not lose that because I want to get the bare minimum to get my campsite up and leave it at that. I can pick up that though, because it can go into the stack. Alright, let's go here. Let's unload wood and metal. Let's also unload meat and furs and more meat. No, I can't do more meat. Let's actually pull that back out and throw meat into here. Right. Problem is, until I get my campsite set up, I can't save, so it does behoove me to sort of get my crap together and get the campsite sorted. Is there a tall tree I don't mind cutting down? Try to look for the sort of tallest tree that I can get so that I sacrifice the least number of trees for the most amount of wood. Actually, more importantly though, I need the There's a good one. I need the palm branches. And I want those too. So here we're going to haul this out slowly by hand to a safer spot. Because I really don't need to be bitten by anything or poisoned by anything while I'm sorting out this. I'm going to have to make several trips back to this, unquestioningly. Unquestionably, I mean. What do I need to build this? What am I missing? Brain not functioning. Oh, rope, of course, the thing that I actually gathered that stuff for. So, here's shelter. Now, actually, before I place the shelter, let me figure out which direction I want to place it. Because I tend to, although I've been diligent about this, aim my encampments back towards home just like I do the arrows. So as a matter of consistency, we're pretty much going to want to aim due west. So let's find out where west is. It's basically back the way my ship came. So we could have it, for example, on here, roughly facing behind me. So let's do that then. Let's find a nice little spot on this little outcropping, a little bit past the crest of the hill over there. So here we go. Shelter, the blank. All right, next. I do not have enough logs to build a campfire, so that's the next thing I want to do. Now, I've already got kindling, keep in mind. Oh, no! No! Okay, so we're going to drop these three. No, we're going to really want to use these 3 rocks right away. Damn. Okay. I'm going to need to build 2 of these. I'm going to have to build another rope, which I think I'm going to need. Crude axe has been stored in my backpack. Alright. But now we're in a slightly different position where I need to go find some more rocks. Why? I don't actually need the rocks around the campfire unless I'm willing to build, unless I need to build something above it. I just like the aesthetic. Oh, but let's make sure. Are we in good position? Ish. We could do with more water. In fact, what we're going to do is right now we're going to eat one of these because we can, and then we'll do it again in the morning or after a good night's work. Can't have too much of this or it'll make you ill. But we are on an island where they are plentiful, so let's just make sure we are. All right. Save the game. Now, we're going to go back the other way here, circle around the other direction, and see if we can't find... Come on. Thank you. Damn. I do not have... There's 2 snakes in this island, which does not thrill me altogether to pieces. I used up 2 rocks, so I'm going to need to replace those 2 rocks. I don't know what's going on here, but you can be damn sure that I want to tackle that in the morning when I can see everything. I have no idea what this is. I am in completely uncharted territory now. There's my other rock. And as long as I'm picking up rocks anyway, let's just pick up the rest and I'll just leave them at camp. I won't bother bringing them home. Okay, there's going to be a lot of good resources on this island. I'm going to be back here more than once. I'm only going to collect enough resources on this particular trip in order to make sure that I can get make sure that I can get the necessary spear gun things that I need, while still having a surplus. Oh, I love this. This little what do you call it? An atoll? I guess it's an atoll when it's not really part of another island. Maybe, I don't know. Love this. This is great. That's what I'd build a lighthouse on if I had one of these back at my own island. Alright, so we've got lots of rocks. We're lousy with rocks now, so let's just complete that. We're going to leave the spare rocks though in a pile here, because I really don't want to take them back home, and it's helpful to have rocks on islands. If you do what happens to me, which is that my axe died. It's really annoying when my axe dies and I have no ability to actually get another axe. Let's go and save that. Okay. Let's start the resource gathering in earnest. Now, I'll leave that for other stuff. So let's go and do that. Put that in there. All right. I'm gonna see if I can safely, come on, chow down on another one of these before I crash, just to keep my water levels up without having to dip into non-renewable stores. And by non-renewable, I mean stuff I have to go back to claim. Okay, so that seems to have, I seem to have been solid on that front. It's now time I have had to resort, by the way, to collecting a small army of coconuts from other islands, because the ones on my own island have largely been depleted and have not yet grown back. And they don't grow back that quickly. In fact, I'm not even sure these days if they grow back at all, but I think they do. But they don't grow back that quickly. Oh, I wanted to... What I'm going to do, I'm going to take care of the snakes now. Which means I need you. So I do not want to be stepping on snakes for the rest of the evening. I just don't. Hopefully they're still where I left them. Looks like it. At least one of them. Really? Let them slither around a little bit, let them calm down. Don't chase them or necessarily run away everywhere. Just let them calm down. Did I actually manage to recover all my arrows? I did, yay. Okay. second of my snakes has left me, which is irritating because it means I'll probably have to be super careful walking through the brush even during the daytime, to say nothing of night. Oh well. Always good to find fresh fruit on the island. What's not good is where the heck did I just drop my axe? Now, how did that happen? Oh, jeez. That would have been annoying. I probably have enough resources on the island to build yet another axe, but shouldn't have to. Okay. I'm hoping, actually, that I'll be able to gather enough resources here and stuff it in my boxes. Yeah, there we go. That I can head home in the morning. One of the things I was a little bit shy on, in particular, was resources for the ropes. Which means that I really need to do is hit up the yucca trees on the island. Somewhat less worried about logs, though bringing back a nice supply of them wouldn't hurt either. Do have to be somewhat careful about stumbling into that snake's path, though. I've got a lot of resources here I can claim, but the one that I'm most interested in bringing back with me this trip is this stuff. Alright, so let's take a look at our fella's makeshift shelter here. Isn't this interesting? A refined spear. Sure, I'll take that with me. Evidence of a bow and arrow. Crock pots. Definitely want to see what's in there. Some wood sticks I can pick up next time. A crude axe, which I can pick up next time. Wow. Okay. Hey, buddy. I have not seen one of these anywhere else on the island ever. On any of the islands. So that's why this is kind of novel to see somebody else's attempt at a shelter. That's fantastic. Ooh, got chills. Kind of hints at, you know, something broader in the game. All right then. Let's see where we stand resource-wise in terms of what we can transport back home this trip. First, let's... Okay, I can't get any more in there, but I can get more in here. I could get a bunch more yucca plants and the like, but not much else. Okay. In terms of what I can carry in my hands, I really can only carry those boxes, so I'm already more or less at capacity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the coconuts out of here, because while I do need them, I don't need to transport them back this trip. I'm going to shove the extra refined spear in there, and I'm going to dump these off near my campsite. I'll be collecting more of those anyway. I can't fit that many. Okay, so what's in this guy's chest anyway? Some general materials, so that's fine. All right, I could carry 3 or 4 of these and then have the rest on my deck. Oh, let's actually we can So, okay, so of the things I want to carry on me, sure, I can carry that on me, carry that on me, carry that on me. Yeah, I'm going to be running out of water before long. So, yeah, with a boat this broad, the buoyancy of this thing should be able to hold a, you know, like almost a minivan on it and still float. So, kind of wish it didn't sink as easily as it does. Now, I can bring back tons of wood next time because of that. I don't want to go looking at other wrecks at the moment because I just don't have the space for transport, and I want to get all of this meat back before it goes bad. So... Go out and head mostly dead west. Now, I guess technically I didn't put an arrow down pointing back home, and I will do that because I do like to remain consistent. But I don't strictly need it since I'm navigating by compass. I will do that as a backup measure on my trip back when I can chop up that log. So let's get on the road, and we want to head in a not bad in a that-a-ways direction. Now, if I'm on the thing that I think I'm on, the first thing that I'm going to encounter heading due west is several close shore wrecks with a medium slanted pillar, which is the one that I navigated around. That's probably that one. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out. Now we're going to pause for a second here. I'm going to go get some liquid to drink because I'm getting a little bit thirsty, and then I will be right back here, so hold on for just a moment. There we go, big old glass of water. But as it turns out, so let's just double check that I still got audio on the stream. How are we doing for audio? Yeah, we're good. All right, so we're gonna get right back into this. Yeah, no caffeine for me until after I finish the stream because I just haven't headed out. Grab more caffeine. Coffee would be great. Boy howdy, if there's one thing preventing me from just hopping on a raft and heading out into the Pacific Ocean, it would be the fact that I would have no access to coffee. Yeah, the whole dehydration thing would be a real problem, and eventually food, but, you know, I have to say, frankly, the lack of coffee would kill me first. Anyway. Alright, so... So I'm going to err on the side of heading a little bit north of this, but only by a hair. Oh, except that's where the wreck is. Change of. I'm not going to try to navigate around the wreck and the extended little bit of landmass that probably heads out under it. So, change of plans. We're heading a little bit south of this this island. So what that means in terms of my map. Actually, as long as I hug it pretty tightly and continue heading west, I should actually nail home pretty well. I'll pass by another couple of islands in the process, but. Sadly, because the physics in this game don't involve locking down things that are clearly on the raft surface to the raft surface. Tasty. There's a little bit of a shimmy on them. It also means that if I mean, they're being kept down by friction, I'm guessing. And so if I accelerate this craft and there's a little bit of a jolt, they may get slid backwards. I really don't want to risk that, so I'm just going to sail lazily. That island off to my left there is, I do not believe that is home. But that one that's dead ahead of me there might be. No. Maybe? Really should start bringing the glasses along with me, except then that's one slot to not bring back materials. If I can avoid needing them on simple transport missions, that'd be just fabulous. Alright, so let's get a bearing, an absolute bearing on which way we're heading. We're still heading basically west. So it's either that island ahead of me or it's the one beyond it. But let's skim the edge of that until we're certain. The profile looks like it might be my island. A little hard to tell at this distance, though. If it isn't, then it might be medium near shore wreck container. It might be Container Island, actually, which would place mine just a little bit to the left of that, but it's probably too far off in the haze to make anything out. Yeah, the more I look at it getting closer to it here, let's see. We're not really getting that sense of the big square blockiness of no, that is not the home island. That might be. Off to our left here, south of us, would be shore wreck with tiny pillar. I think you can just see that. Yeah, okay, so I think we're actually after that haze in the distance. That kind of matches up with the map. Now, of course, the trick is I got to be able to get back to the island that I just left. I actually, if I'd been somewhat smart about this, and I usually am better about this, I would leave all the gear that I did not need, like my axe and my knife and my bow and arrows there, and bring back more materials in one go. But if I get enough materials brought back this time to get the arrows I need, then I'm not going to head back to that island for resources yet. I'm going to go and try to tackle for you story beat number 3, or at least get a look at it. There we go. Home sweet home. And done in short enough time that I should be able to preserve all that meat. And I've been consuming a fair bit lately, so... because I've been doing things other than resource gathering. Unlike some of the other survival builder games like this that I've played in the last little while, like Don't Starve Together. Love that game for its co-op mode with people. And to some degree Raft, it's actually really hard to run out of food resources in this as long as you're moderately diligent. Actually, Raft isn't that hard either. But this one enables you to do, well, yeah. The thing is, on Raft, all the things that you do on an island, you instead do on your raft. Like farming, keeping critters. You don't even keep critters in this game, as far as I know. So it's actually a pretty good parallel to this. It just swaps. Like, you basically take your island with you for all intents and purposes. And you can build some pretty elaborate rafts. Like, you can build rafts that are more elaborate than my resort that I've started building here. Hotel. Be a 5-story hotel by the time I'm done with it. I don't think I'll go higher than that on the main island, though, because it just starts to become too cost restrictive. But I might build a lighthouse. Make the island very distinctive. And I'm caught on rocks, because of course I am. Really? Come on. Come on. Thank you. I want to be anywhere near Mr. Sharky Shark while I'm sorting my crap out. I'm going to get caught on this island, but I can live with that. Alright. No, I didn't want to actually do that. I wanted to do the thing that's currently hidden by the boxes. Thank you. Drop you. Alright, what can we do here? We are more or less full. Let us sort the meat issue out first. I think that is this one. What else do I need to bring on board immediately? Let us get rid of some of the... I can't bring anything else on board because I need to be able to offload. Did I really bring the kindling with me? I have serious issues. Alright. I'm going to put a knife on board because I'll just leave that here. Go back here. Take tools. Alright, that'll do. Now watch out for that poisony thing. Alright, what do we got on board here? Nothing. Okay, so let's attach that. Let's attach the two big ones. Let's attach as many of these as we can fit, and I still have 2 left. So what we're gonna do... that'll be fine. We're gonna need 3 sticks. Right, we are going to just gonna I'm gonna need food, but I'm not gonna need that much food. So I'm just gonna cook these when it becomes relevant to do so. I'm going to go to, not there. My boxes containing these supplies. So we've got metal supplies. We're gonna add well. Looks like I need to steal an empty box. because we have run out of space in the other boxes. So that goes for you. Lots of flashlights. Save now, save often. Save again, save twice. Whoa! Okay. Stick. Empty. Fine. I'm going to then consider leaving my... Okay, that's fine. Consider leaving you over here with tools. So all of my tools are still on board that I kind of need. No, I'm gonna unload you. Yeah. I don't need to take the refined spear with me, as clever as that is. I will take that. Because I have 2 refined spears. Because I don't know why. Well, because I built one because I was experimenting with them and I thought I'd give them a go. I may still, because they're kind of fun to use. Alright. I don't know what I'm going to do with the spear. So as I'll put it here along with the extra bow I accidentally made because I'm an idiot. Quickly double check. Okay, all my tools are here, but I do not need 6 crates. One of these is going back into storage. Because there's a pretty good chance, actually I probably want to, if I go back, I'm going to be going back for sticks and not spare crates, so. Too dark, leaving it there for now. Okay. Well, let's build the first 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No! No! For heaven's sake, I'm going to keep on doing that until I have more kindling than I can possibly shake a stick at. Alright, how many do I have? I have only 13. There's another one, 14. Alright. Unreal. Wonder if I can actually take my axe and just re-chop those up into something. I can't get sticks back out of them. Oh yeah, probably fairly dehydrated, right? So let's just power... Alright. Alright. Okay. I am not getting another... I'm not getting another 12 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I get 10? I only got 9 because I need another stick. 10. Except I was after 12. So use 2 sticks on something that I didn't realize. Oh, the kindling, of course. 11, 12. Okay. I need to... That's not enough. I want... Well, hang on. Let's go... Or is that enough? Did I only need 12? I might have only needed 12. I only needed 12 to get my 2 full stacks. I'm good. In which case, what that means is I'm going to take that box and I'm going to take that box. I'll just take these boxes with me. What the heck? I am now prepared to go to the new target. I just have to finish cooking. All right, you are finished. You are both smoked, so you're finished. You are not even, oh, they're spoiled. Damn it. This is what happens when you take too long. Let's just get rid of them off the shelf somewhere. I haven't figured out a better use for them. That's slightly annoying, but you're going to cook until completion anyway. So now because of that, I'm no longer concerned about waiting around. Shall we go see what the final part of the game has in store for us? We don't have fruit, which is more is the pity, because it is a nice sort of portable. Oh, we do have fruit. How's our? No, we got lots of water. I stand corrected. We have goofy amounts of fruit. Okay, according to my map, my next potential target is more or less due north, which is tricky because it involves making our way through a number of sets of islands without getting lost. But there is a corridor of no islands straight up to our target, so as long as we try to stay true north, we should be okay. And that direction is that way, so we're more or less actually pointed in the right direction. We do have a bunch of boxes over here we don't need on here, though, because we're not taking our normal... Well, you know what? Maybe we should. Maybe we should... We should take the 2 empty containers we have. Do we have empty containers? No, but we can make one in a hurry. Quick little bit of cleanup here. We're going to take our boxes with us, because in this case I don't actually know what I'm getting myself into, so... That's empty. You can stay over here. You're empty. You can stay over here. You have two of the things we want. You're coming back with us again. All right. We're going to get there sooner rather than later, so I am going to fill up on fuel. Should be enough to get us there and back with a little bit to spare. It is a long distance, but don't really want to be doing any of this in the dark if I can avoid it. It's already getting on in the morning, so one last slurp of water. Slurp. Come on. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take our first stab at the third story element. Don't necessarily expect to be successful because it's likely to be another beastie. And I don't know what I'm up against this time. Gonna make a bit of a hard turn here. Even harder turn here. Okay, that was a little bit too hard of a turn, but that's all right. We're in good shape because what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop on this and we're gonna book it. Keep the islands. So that island there is going to be that one on my map. So we're gonna keep going as northerly as we can and keep course correcting as we go. I'm hoping that by morning, well, the moon is kind of directly above us. It's we may have to find an island to camp out on. We may have gone just a little bit too early on this one, but we'll find out. Hey buddy, how you doing? Quick check of the compass. We're doing okay. Might want to bear a little bit to the right. Oh, we actually got 2 whales, I think. Oh no. That is the remains of one of our other encounters, is what that is. Okay, so we've got an island coming up onto us on our right, which should be the island I called Opposing Wrecks. There's an island coming up on our left. That might be a boat wreck and 2 sideways wrecks, which I think means that there were 3 wrecks, 2 of which were very similar. It's a pillar though, and I thought I would have identified that as a thing. You're still going north though. May have to augment that one with gigantic pillar. Oh, actually, this isn't the direction I wanted to go. The reason for that is the thing that I'm heading for isn't the third story beat, it's sort of the fourth, I think. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, I headed due north, but actually the channel I'm supposed to be heading up is north and a little bit east. So I have hit an island that is in the appropriate path, but it's this thing off to the left, and you can just barely see it, probably, on the stream. It's actually under these clouds here, just barely visible. Let me reorient the craft. And we will do a drive-by. So while this is kind of a blind playthrough, one of the things I do know about this comes about as a result of you know, looking at what's on the map. So I kind of expect this to be a very, very special thing. And because of its shape, I roughly know what it is. So let's go take a look, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do a drive-by of this, but then I'm going to reload back at the island, because what I want to do is actually head out in exactly the opposite direction to the thing I actually want to tackle. You should be able to see it now, perhaps. Alright, so I'm going to stop here, because I'm going to let the full splendor of this be a surprise when I eventually get there. But you should be able to see that on the horizon. There's clearly an enormous craft of some sort. And I'm pretty sure that I have to end up there after I've taken care of my my friendly beasties. So last look, but we're actually not going to go here yet, because I don't want to spoil myself for what's actually there. Looking at my map, the other thing that I need to head for is in exactly the opposite direction, literally at the very, very opposite end of my map. And that's where I'm going to quickly reload, and I'm going to head back there. Alright, so I'm back where I started, but I am still fully ready to do the thing. The only thing is in this case, I want to head basically what amounts to... it's kind of southeast. It's going to be tricky to find because it's in the extreme corner of the map, but there's no island directly next to it. What I could do though is find an island that I called Wide Medium Spire, which is the last island that I tagged on this. So, all right, let's do the thing where I go south-southeast instead. All right, get me on board, please. Thank you. And sail. All right. So heading south, I actually want to head to the right of the island that's ahead of me. See if I can do this properly. That should actually be pretty close to the direction I want to head. Yeah, so I want to head, yeah, it's very basically dead straight ahead of where we are. But we're going to pass this island. Then we're going to pass, it's going to be a trio of islands on the other side. But one of, there's going to be, like, if we headed straight through that island from mine, there would be a series of 3 islands. We're going to go for the first one on this side. But then we need to keep on going dead straight past it to whatever the next thing is. So, here goes nothing. So, we got a teaser for what's up ahead of us. Well, behind us at the moment, but I mean ahead of us in time. Pretty sure we have to go to that craft as a last resort. So yes, okay, if you want to claim I don't have a completely blind playthrough, I have hints as to that. As to the fact that that's probably the last place I want to go to. But I've never been on board, I've never seen it up close. And it is clearly marked differently on the map, so. Deduction alone suggests that since I've got an aircraft part from 2 of the beasties that I've encountered, that this is likely to be another beastie, and it's likely to have another aircraft part that I need. Okay, let's see which way we're pointing. Yeah, kind of wish I could see that island I want to aim for, but I can't quite see it yet. It should be over here somewhere. Oh, there it is, I think. Not sure which side of this I want to go on, but I do want to hug it pretty close. There's the middle island, and I think the far one is out of view over on that side of the trio of islands. I honestly don't know how people would stumble into this blindly. Like, they could triple the amount of hours I put into this and literally be an exhaustive search of the ocean. And I probably would have done it too. Except that being on stream would make that very boring. It'd make it as boring as my sort of grindy, harvesty runs for my building resources. Yeah, there's my campsite. Here it is, and my arrow back home. Oh, and I've hit a wreck, which has upset my direction. Isn't that just delightful? Come on. Come on. Yeah, this has got a large. I remember this island for being irritating because there's a large number of spires on its on one of its sides. When I tried to circle the island, I once during an off-stream playthrough, I kept getting caught on these things. A couple of islands have that. Nothing you can do about it. You just gotta know they're there. And the real world, there'd be a big honking buoy sitting on it. Come on, come on, come on! Don't do that. South-southeast. Yep. Alright, it's probably this way somewhere. Of course, my boxes have gone all askew. And my light. Where's my light? Let's not lose any of these. Momentum is a bitch. Alright. somewhere in this direction is what I'm after. The problem is it's the middle of the night and I'm not entirely sure what it is that I'm after. How are we doing on resources? We're doing okay. I really don't even know what I'm looking for, to be perfectly frank. Let's put the other two boxes down for a second. Kind of want these in my inventory. It's making me nervous. Now when I get down in this direction, the island I've just left is going to be quite a ways behind me. I'm not likely to actually see any islands. I think we're going to be right at the edge of visibility of anything. So I probably got a long ways to go to get there. More to the point, once I get there, it'll be literally within a stone's throw of quote, the edge of the universe. Oh, hello. So off in that direction, we can see an island that is southwest of us, and I know which island that is on my map. Okay, there should, in principle, be another one off in this direction, again at the very edge of visibility. But I can't see it. Let's turn port just a bit further. Not much, just a hair. Can still see the island behind us in the distance. Can I still see this one? Not really. I've kind of fallen out of view on that side too. Where's the moon? Alright, so dawn is about 5 minutes away. Do have to keep an eye on the horizon here though, because I'm not entirely sure where exactly the thing is that I'm looking for, and if it's as small as that buoy for that other critter, I don't know how I'm going to see it. Oh, hello. Hello. Well, that's clearly a thing. Alright, so which direction is that? Alright, 45 degrees, huh? Kind of ahead of us. The edge of the universe isn't far from where we currently are. There we are. These arrows in my possession. In good shape there. All right. Took us a while to get here, and I don't know what I'm up against, but hold the phone. This is like a submarine or something. Several things about this are already not good. Oh, wow. Okay. Don't want to be anywhere down there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Get me up. Oh, I'm not sure how to deal with this thing, to be honest. Can't be missing with those things. They're too valuable. Okay, I think I can take this thing. I may be able to get a twofer on this one stream if I'm careful and if it doesn't do anything really wacky at me. No guarantees, but you can see I'm damaging it. A little worried that it has an attack or something that is super, super deadly to me. Or that it's decided to go down and not come up again. It breached the water and I don't know where. It's gotten caught under my raft. Okay, this is seriously cheesing it. Kind of want to see. This is going to be risky, but I kind of want to see if I can. Nope, nope. Instant death. Instant death being anywhere near it. I should have just cheesed it and left it alone. There's no chance I'm going to be able to recover the arrows from that, even cheesing it. So you cannot get bitten by that thing. because that was just very simply instant death. There wasn't a chance to be unpoisoned or whatever. But that does mean, with a big enough raft, it might have difficulty getting to me. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again, because it wasn't that hard to find. Might try waiting till morning though. All kinds of fun. All right. Day 162. Well, day 162. All right. This is where I head out on the ocean. To tackle the final beastie. I might not get a chance to cheese that thing again. I might have just gotten enormously lucky and then screwed up being enormously lucky. But you know what? The last time I was potentially capable of cheesing an enemy, I what? Come on. Did I not unlock it? I guess I didn't. No, I didn't. There we go. I did the same thing. I kind of screwed it up. In that case, it was a little bit more on purpose, because I wanted to see what its normal behavior should have been. I don't know what that thing's normal behavior should have been, but I do find it fascinating. There's an entire honking great wreck under there, right? Because that's kind of intriguing in and of itself. All right. Southeast, so we want to turn a little bit port. Lower the sail, get on the gas. Let's just get on with this. See if we can get there pretty quick. See if we can't take out BC number 3. This is the closest I've ever been to actually completing this game. It's making me pretty happy actually. So we're heading south. Kind of need to head a little bit more southeast. Where is the island in question? There it is. Okay, now I'm going to do something slightly different this time. I don't want to run into those reefs. So I'm going to cut in on the port side of the island. And then I'm going to cut starboard until I'm heading basically due south. Means I'll be approaching a thing from a slightly different angle. Just don't like those rocks. Let's see if this is any better. problem is, on this side, there's rocks and wrecks. So that has served me no purpose whatsoever going that particular route. So I'm going to head south from here, and that's literally over that direction, so time to push. Ow. At least the hammerheads only punch you sideways. A lot. A lot. I should have said a lot there. Gads. Alright. So I was hugging that pretty hard, so I might not want to head absolutely... It is actually probably pretty close to due south. If slightly east, but not by even the slightest hair. So let's head out this direction and see if we can spot those two little spines sticking up out of the water somewhere out here. It is going to be quite the distance from the island, though. Still heading south, I can remember that. There it is. There it is. Very easy to accidentally pass it by. It's really subtle. And if you're going along at a really fast clip, well, you might never see it. Really might never see it. Alright, let's get prepped here. Oh right, got the two boxes in here, so... Really a quick transfer way of doing that, but oh well. Here we go. bit further away than I would have liked. See if we can't shore that up a bit. Risky, but a little better. Heck out of here, please. Yep. Yep. Up, please. Thank you. Whew. All right. All right, we are taking this guy out if we can. Couldn't see him, don't know where he is. The devil are you? There you are. We are in cheese territory. Alright. Alright, let's see if I can do this without fucking it up. Alright. Pardon my language. Okay. So, from a game design perspective, this needs a little work, obviously, because this it can't possibly be the way I was intended to take this guy out. Even if he only swam around my boat in a particularly unusual swivel pattern. Oh god. I wonder if my instant death had more to do with me running out of air than getting up close to him. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing? That's the real reason I died last time. It wasn't even that he got me. It's that I ran out of air. Okay, this is again cheesing it, but as long as I'm cheesing it for several different veins at one time, what the hell, right? Alright, watch my air, and I should be able to get most of my spear gun arrows back, because those things are expensive to make, man. Getting harder and harder to get into the right position, though. This game is super unforgiving about running out of air. Think I might just go with what I've managed to get back here and take this guy out. Although, we do have a problem that I don't seem to be able to fire my gun at the moment. I'm not sure what that's about. I have no idea where that arrow went to. Okay, well. So now we're in a problem where, for whatever reason, I don't seem to be able to kill this guy. Sail ahead a little bit. Okay, not sure what that was about. I don't know. Some trigger mechanism wasn't working until I finally took the final, like I got away from him and took that last blow. Not entirely sure. Don't really care. I'm in a position where I have a few minutes to quickly go and poke at this craft to see if I can get anywhere without running out of air. And the obvious place to look is either at the back here. Nope. the stern, or in the big gaping hole that our buddy came out of. Which I think is just on the other side here. Doesn't appear to be too much that's of immediate interest here. And it may be that this thing doesn't have any materials or anything of interest on it proper, because the whole point of this was the big bad beastie. So that's okay. That is actually okay. I'm okay with that. I don't think there's any way in here. And maybe I'll come out here on a separate trip in case there's something here that's relevant other than the beastie. But I'm real nervous being out here. When what I really need to be doing is unanchoring and hauling butt back home by going north again. Specifically, I think north-northwest. Why can I not grab you? What's going on here? No. We need to go north-northwest in order to roughly head back home. Some arrows, but not a huge amount. I can cope with that. How are we doing? We could munch on the remainder of the fruit, which we are going to do. Then we are going to aim a little bit more this way to the port. Try to retrace our steps without getting too horribly lost, because we kind of desperately need to be able to get back home in short order. Now, if I head due north from there, I'm going to be out. So I want to definitely head, yeah. Need to be able to turn this beast. North-northeast should get us closer to wide medium spire, at which point we want to go due north. Sorry, north-northwest. I meant north-northwest, which is the direction I'm actually heading. So actually, hang on, we're gonna lower the sail. Time to go home, peeps. Now, aside from running out of time, this should be a low-risk maneuver as long as I don't do anything colossally stupid. Might be able to see some of those islands on either side of us come up. Where are we heading? Yeah. Okay, there's our island, and is that the one we're after? Wide medium spire. So that looks like a wide spire to me. And there's no other islands that are actually even close. So I think that's the one we passed by. Now we're going to give it a wider berth so we stay out of the way of all those rocks, but that's fine too. Oh, hey, bud. I love those whales. They just, I don't know. It's one of those things that makes the ocean feel alive even when you're sailing atop it, right? Because I can't look down very much from here. I can't watch things go by underneath me. And if I'm fair, when you're out and about in the open ocean, you don't see a whole lot of things like, you don't see a lot of seaweed, you don't see a lot of large jellyfish or any kind of jellyfish, really. Okay, now hang on. So that other one on the other side of this island that I just barely saw, that's got to be thin, tall spire, 2 offshore wreck containers. So after I pass this, I want to start turning north. And it's going to take me a while to turn, so I should actually be turning due north of this. That should get me home, because I'll eventually see small wreck, large pillar. Due north. Let's find out. Nope, more. More turning. A little worried that I don't recognize this island I'm coming up to on my right here. Maybe one I haven't been to. There are some, well, it may be one that I've been to but haven't started taking detailed notes on them, and that's actually quite possible. How northish are we going? We're going pretty northish. I think actually I want to head a little bit more east. Starting to feel so shore wreck tiny pillar. I'm actually thinking I came a little bit too far. I did not go far enough west. Yeah. So my home is actually over there somewhere, and there's that tall, large pillar. So I'm going between those two, which means my home is actually closer to where my cursor is now. It's okay as long as I'm not completely lost, as long as I can start to get bearings. The islands are close enough together that I can usually deduce where I'm supposed to end up. Is that my beach on my right? Yes, it is. In fact, it is. And in fact, to get over there, I need to make a hard turn. I kind of want to come in straight at it, so we're just going to quickly hop off and do this, and then hop back on, drop the sail, and come in under sail power where I have a little bit more control. All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed all 3 of the critter quests. Now it's probably time to go and tackle that final quest out in the ocean. And it's 12:47. So how do I want to do this? I'm kind of hankering. No, I'm not actually that hungry. I do need to do some grocery shopping. But I really want to see what's on that battleship. You know what I mean? So here's what I'm going to do. I want to get to that battleship and sort of complete the sort of mission story-based part of this. At least I don't want to leave the game, because I know, as far as I know, there's a way to effectively leave the game, game over, game over. I don't want to go that far, but I do want to see what's on board that wreck. But I do need to do a little bit of grocery shopping, and I could probably do with a little bit of lunch just to tide me over. So what I'm going to do is I am going to not do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop off these supplies, so let's do that first. Let's find out. So that's the one with the, so I'm going to take out the spear from that. I'm going to take out the spear darts from that. Put them in here. This container and this container go back over here, because they're going to be my sort of kit for taking out beasties, which one would hope I no longer need, but I'm going to bring it with me anyway onto the ship that we saw. Because frankly, I don't know what I'm going to encounter when I get there. Again, this is pretty much new territory for me. I probably don't need that. But if I get up there, is there nearby... is there a nearby island I might want to gather resources from? Not really, because if I wanted to gather resources, what I would do is I'd go back to the one that I was gathering resources on before and finish off sort of that island area for the stuff I need. So I'm going to pull this out of here, drop it here. I've got enough resources here to tide me over. Let's make sure I have taken my appropriate water rations and got myself all watered up. Get me some food, which is making me very happy. I got enough resources, or enough containers here. So I'm going to grab the same containers I had. I'll grab, basically I'll have a spare container, some of my tool containers, and the weapons and stuff over there. And I will head out to the battleship, but I'm not going to do that yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be the adult, which really makes me sad, and go out and do my grocery shopping and so on and so forth. And when I get back, I'm going to get right back into this, and we're going to finish this. So it is currently, as I finish this, about 12:50 p.m. PST. I'm going to need at least a couple of hours. It might be less because I don't plan on grocery shopping very long. I hate doing it. So within a couple of hours, let's say I aim for 3 p.m. to start the last leg of this. 3 p.m. PST. Not that anybody's currently in my chat room or anything for whom this will matter, but more just speaking to myself. So this has been absolutely fantastic. I didn't think we'd be able to do 2 of these at once, and now I'm game to do the third and call the game effectively. The game, once I get there and find out what's there, unless there's major story from that point on that I'm even less privy to, that'll be a nice way to wrap up this game. Something I've shared with you, with the exception of sort of filler resource gathering material all the way through. How delightful. Anyway, I will be back in a little while. So until that happens, I will see you in this afternoon's stream.